Welcome to the debut issue. Did I say issue? I meant to say episode. Whatever. This is a test run. This is Art Shimko from beautiful Austin, Texas. I am here with my debut episode of, I don't know what I'm going to call it. The ArtCast? I don't know what to call this thing yet. Maybe I'll ask my friends around. What can I call this thing? I don't want to pigeonhole myself. How's it going, everyone? I know, really kind of bleak right now. It's April 15th, 2020. Actually, it's April 16th. As I'm looking at my time on my studio here, and it is 1:23 a.m. Central Daylight Time here in the capital of Texas. And just sitting here right now, surrounded by my cats. They like to wander into the studio, and as long as they're not sitting on any other equipment, I guess I'm really good here. So, but hey, welcome. Thanks for checking us out. A little brief background about my broadcasting expertise or experience or whatever. I don't know if I say expertise, but more like experience, I guess. But I done broadcasting. I'd been in broadcasting for 6 years, 2 of them on the air. Initially, I started a podcast with a couple friends of mine, Casey and Ewan, and later on Mark and Alan and Rick, and we were all wrestling fans, brought together by one great man named Carl Stern. We were fans of his podcast, and we decided to do our own website and then do our own podcast. So for about 3-4 years, we were doing podcasting, especially when it was starting to get really hot, and especially when like wrestling podcasts were starting to pop up everywhere, like in 2005 or so, I guess, 6, and that year. And I think we were doing it by 2007 already. So, but I had also appeared on other podcasts because I was going to a lot of independent wrestling shows back in Philadelphia. So I would call in to these some podcasts and would give them the results of the shows I had been to and talk about what had went on and talked about other things that was going on in wrestling. So I have that. And then in 2012, I went back to school for broadcasting in New Jersey, which is where I am from, but I was living in Philadelphia at the time. And I wanted to get into broadcasting. I thought it was like the last, for me personally, I felt I was like, I got to get my foot in the door now, or, who knows if it can happen, and I can even see if it could happen, or, initially what I'm thinking about it. So I went back to school, took a 4-month course, interned at a classic rock station in Philadelphia, top 5 station, WMGK, 102.9. They've been around for a long time. I did 2 stints as the morning show intern, and then after that, I was hired from the company with the station to be a fill-in remote producer, and then I became the regular remote producer and did a lot of shifts for concert broadcasts with Ray Koob and appearances with Andre Gardner and some of the other talent. And I'd been doing that for 3 years or so, and then I gotten my big break to be on the air. So I was on the air for 2 years, exactly 2 years, I think, actually, which is pretty crazy. But I did Sunday nights from 8 to 10. And then I would stay from 10 to midnight to run the programming into midnight, after midnight. So I done that, And it was awesome. I mean, I do cringe when I hear some of my old air checks. I was so fast. I was so nervous. I just wanted to, I just wanted to, I guess, get it out, and not make a mistake. And then, there's no personality. It just da 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 da. I had this veteran radio DJ on a station back there on MGK named T. Morgan, who pretty much created the concept and format of classic rock. So he was always telling me, like, hey, slow down. I'm listening to you on the way home. You're flying through your break. Just relax and just. And in hindsight, I have to say, like, the last 6 months, I thought I was doing really well. I thought I was doing really, really well with that. And, I felt comfortable. I felt like my pacing was getting good. And then in June 2016, the company, Greater Media, who had owned WMGK and a few other stations in the city, were bought out by Beasley Media. And so for one of the first things they did was, besides lay off a bunch of people, was wipe out the weekend air shifts and just put them in automation. And that bummed me out, but the fortunate thing was I still had a job. I was still a producer, even though the shifts were a little few and far between, but, I was fortunate because I saw a lot of, unfortunately, colleagues, friends, who'd been there longer than me and had, like pretty good positions and such. They were on the chopping block, unfortunately. So, it happens with buyouts and such, and but that was that was tough to see. So I had to really like buck up and be like, hey, I'm gonna just be fortunate that I'm still in with this company and they still need me to produce for these shifts and everything. So that was that. I was there, for another 6 months because I was starting to make a transition and plan to move from Philadelphia to Austin. So I think my last shift there was December 2016. And I probably gave my notice already. I was like, I was giving my notice, and I was going to be done. Early January was when would be done because I had a month left in the city before I moved in February 2017. So like all the timing just worked out the way well. As I left on tremendous terms. Still talk to some people, in that company and from the other stations who I had become friends with, and and I miss it. I miss broadcasting. I tried to come down when I came down here to Austin. I wanted to pursue it, and I should have pursued it, and I didn't because I took like a break when I came down here. I was pretty financially good at the time, but I still should have went for it. I had a friend who hooked me up with somebody who was working at a station, and I didn't follow up with it. It was really dumb. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I was like, should I get into it? I was like, I'd been 6, 7, 8 months removed from from doing broadcasting. So yeah, it is what it is. About I don't know how many months ago, maybe 6 months ago. Yeah, probably, but actually, maybe like 8 months ago, I guess. Maybe I was trying to get into this station down here in Austin. It's a volunteer station, been around for a long time, called Co-op, KOOP. It's 91.7. They're a great station, very eclectic. And I thought, okay, I attended the meeting because I was like, I want to get back in on this, and if it's going to be volunteer until I can. I had applied to. There were openings in other stations, like paid gigs. One station was looking for an associate producer. One was looking, a couple were looking for on-air talent. One was looking for like promotions. I applied at all these stations, and I didn't hear anything back from them. And they don't set it up where you can follow up And then if they put the opening out, it's like I had applied for this position, and then the position is put up again online, that there's an opening, and then I go to apply, and well, you applied already. I guess I could have called, but I've been in so many situations on the other end where I see like supervisors, bosses, managers that get so pissed off, and they're like, I told these people not to fucking call in, and they're calling in and they're following up, and we told them that it's almost like this weird, they have a lot to, managers and supervisors and shit. Like, I had to review resumes, not for the station, but for like other jobs. And when I was assisting my managers at other jobs I had in the past that were non-related, but they it's like they have so much going on already. So like when they say, like, we'll get back to you, like when we see something interesting, but like, you're gonna have somebody who's like gonna call and say, hey, I sent my resume. Your mom tells you, your friends tell you, anybody can tell you, oh, follow up. And that could be good advice, but sometimes it might show, it could make a weird tick or a weird trigger with an authority figure and be like, hey, they're not listening to me already. I told them not to call in, and they're calling in, it's a double-edged sword, but, So I thought coming back to that, I thought I'd go with co-op. And a lot of it is you have to attend, a lot of their volunteer events, or attend their events that they're sponsoring. And if you're a volunteer and you volunteer for like an hour and a half of time, and then you can go training into the station. So, but as I was starting to get those emails, I was also like, fuck, I need a job. Like I need a paid gig. So I got a job at this shop on 6th Street downtown called Aaron's Rock and Roll. And I'd been there up until March 17th of this year when downtown was shut down. The shop is surrounded, it's within the bar district, and club district there on 6th Street on East 6. So, well, not East 6, but, East, Dirty 6. Everyone knows Dirty 6 if you're in Austin. So, but, yeah, so that's in a nutshell. If you're still listening, I appreciate it. This is Art Shimko with the ArtCast, as I guess I'm going to call it for now. I don't know. It's a working title. It's my screen name here on Podbean, so I'm using that. But I'm sure there's plenty of other people that used ArtCast, so I'll have to figure something out. So I know I'm not the only person in the world named Art, although I feel like it sometimes. Even though I know a total of 5 arts in my life, 4 arts. I know 2 back in Philly and 2 here in Austin. So there's that. But I just thought for fun and to get myself, going and to, just to a test run. I don't even know if it's going to be posted. If it is, I may post it just to, just to test it out. And, I might take it down. I might just send a link to some people and say, hey, what do you think of this? Because when I was trying to figure out, I think one of the things I had a podcast bouncing in my head, ideas, like at some point when I'd been down here already in Austin, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Am I going to do a music one because I love music? Am I going to do wrestling because I love wrestling? Am I going to do a combo? Try to find something to stand out. So I think for now, I'm just going to do like stream of consciousness, or just talk about whatever, and, like what's relevant in the day. Right now, like we know this whole, pandemic thing is taken over our lives and society, and everything's relying on, the digression of this pandemic and this virus disease, and getting a vaccine out that's going to help people, and all that thing. So, yeah, we'll see. The thing I saw today is that, Vince McMahon is going to be part of Trump's economic group to get the economy going again in this country. So we'll see. I mean, he's gathered, I think, a bunch of other sports league commissioners. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's, kind of news of the absurd almost in a way. But we'll see how it works. All right, folks. I think I'm going to head out for now. And just want to thank you again. I hope you're enjoying this or enjoyed any of it. Let me know what you think. It'll be more formatted as time goes on. Like I said, this is a test run. I might not even keep this posted all the way. But thanks again. This is Art Shimko for the ArtCast from beautiful Austin. Y'all take care.